myself, I'm not just gonna stand here and wait. I wanna just decide what is to be my fate. Alone all by myself, I'm not just gonna stay here and wait.
Good morning, everybody. It's one of those days here in north central Pennsylvania, as I have nothing prepared to open the show because we were sitting here rendering for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be a short show today, so buckle in. I'll have more comments after the break. Remember, tomorrow there is no Karen Reed coverage because the trial is not happening again till Monday. But we will have this newscast at its normal time at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Where it counts, 4 p.m. Mountain, and 3 p.m. Pacific, followed by our Thursday night panel show at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. where it counts, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. I hope to see you there. Again, sorry for the early and rushed job here to start the show. It's been a hell of an afternoon. So let's dive into these stories, and I'll talk to you in about 11 and a half minutes. DeCastro takes win for Tuesday. Attorney Michael Eline's Monday fundraiser for Jose Chile DeCastro resulted in a win for DeCastro on Tuesday in the GoFundMe Race for the Crown. DeCastro received a single $25 donation to his lawyer fund only All Dollars Go to Lawyers campaign a day after Eline's fundraiser. While technically coming a day after said fundraiser, we're going to be kind and give credit to the single donation to Eline out of pity's sake. DeCastro's Legal Aid Fund, Donation Fund, Help People Fund also saw a single donation of $10 on Tuesday. It's unclear if this one was promoted anywhere, but the donation propelled DeCastro to an unstoppable win on Tuesday with a combined take of $35. No other auditors saw donations for Tuesday. As part of our tracking, we're currently investigating the status of Craig Hendry, who has a GoFundMe listed as part of our tracker. Hendry posted on his YouTube community page late last week that he had court tomorrow for multiple charges in Lake County, Indiana. He has since gone silent across all of his media channels. Searches of his Indiana public records show no hearings in any cases corresponding to the case he had listed, so it's unclear what is going on with Hendry or why he's gone into total media silence. His GoFundMe campaign last received a donation on April 28, 2024, and has not been promoted by the YouTuber in the month or so we've been monitoring the campaign. As always, we do have a GoFundMe of our own, located below in the scroll. All proceeds go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing news stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. Chaos in Turtle World. After a weekend of turmoil that saw Kate Peter and Grant Smith Ellis exchanging vicious accusation and barbs on Twitter, the chaos seems to have spread to the defenders of Karen Reed as Turtle Boy Aidan Kearney finds himself at the center of controversy. Kearney recently remarked that he could have taken a plea deal to hand authorities a victory in their case against Karen Reed for the murder of John O'Keefe. Kearney stated that he didn't take the deal because he believed in both his own innocence and that of Reed. The comments caused controversy as Kearney didn't deny flat-out rejecting the deal, and critics claimed that the comments weren't comments one would make if they were firmly convinced of the innocence of Karen Reed. In more recent days, Kearney has found himself in conflict with Karen Reed and Nick and Jenna Rocco, who who had taken over duties as head of the so-called Free Karen Read movement last year, when Kearney was jailed for violating terms of his release on charges of felony witness intimidation. The Roccos have now distanced themselves from Kearney in light of his comments about Reed and a dispute over a Facebook page. It has been reported that Kearney recently forced the Roccos out of a pro-Karen Reed Facebook page they were running in order to rebrand it as a Turtle Boy-sponsored page. Kearney was reportedly jealous of the Roccos after Karen Reed and Reed's family distanced themselves from Kearney following the filing of criminal charges against him. Nick Rocco also replaced Kearney as a representative of Reed in appearances on Court TV to defend her. As the controversy has spread, Kearney has attempted to explain his comments about a possible plea deal as something he'd never do, as he fully believes in Karen Reed. However, persistent rumors have Kearney preparing possible action against Reed should she continue to shun his help. Kearney actively tweeted descriptions of John O'Keefe's adopted children's testimony on Tuesday, despite a court order preventing the use of computers or phones during their testimony. He later held a press conference to detail his thoughts about their testimony and the order. The YouTuber is due in court on May 30th, 2024 for another pretrial hearing in his ongoing efforts to have his ex-girlfriend Lindsay Gaiatini's protection order against him dropped. DeCastro to pay Bacon $4,500. As expected, Judge H.J. Ford III issued a correction to his recent ruling in favor of Michael Blue Bacon Paratini and Jose Chili DeCastro's ongoing California-based lawsuit against Paratini, David Team Skeptic Omo, Daniel Clement, and Kate Peter. DeCastro is suing the group for defamation and harassment in California's Superior Court in essentially a rehashing of his previously dismissed Massachusetts-based federal civil rights lawsuit against Peter and Josh Abrams. That case was dismissed in July of 2023. Abrams is not included in the new suit. The corrected ruling strikes the order for DeCastro to pay Blue Bacon's lawyer $4,500 by July 15, 2024, and replaced it with an order for DeCastro to pay Paratini the $4,500 directly within 20 days of the order. Judge Ford found that DeCastro improperly filed what he called a motion for sanctions, which was in fact a motion to compel further responses to DeCastro's request for production of documents as part of the discovery process. The judge found that DeCastro's motion was not supported by a required meet and confer declaration and failed to cite any authority that would allow him to rely on a verified memo of points and authorities instead of a meet and confer declaration. He also found that DeCastro failed to establish good cause for further responses, as the burden was on him to show relevance to the subject matter and specific facts to justify further discovery. As DeCastro's motion failed to provide a proper meet and confer declaration and failed to demonstrate even the most basic of good cause for further responses, Ford denied the motion and awarded sanctions in the amount of $4,500 to cover the 10 hours of legal fees at $4.50 an hour charged to Paratini by his attorney to respond to DeCastro's motion. Regan Benson gets surprise delivery? Regan Benson's non-scheduled Tuesday rant against homeless services in Denver was apparently interrupted in the best way possible on Tuesday, as Benson received news that her youngest son's wife may have delivered her new grandson. Benson started the live stream with a rant alongside a homeless man named Phil. Benson explained that Phil is the only survivor out of 3 men who she had housed at a hotel in 2022 to 2023. Ron and Jesse, who were housed with Phil, both died in 2023, and Benson showed off her memory urn necklace containing Jesse's ashes at the start of the broadcast. The activist for the homeless was upset that the nonprofit St. Francis Center, which provides mail service for the homeless, had very odd and inconsistent hours to access the mail. Benson claimed that she and Phil were just denied service at the mailing center at the facility as it closed at 2 p.m. and they had arrived at 2:30 p.m. Benson was outraged that a supervisor had told them that she would be willing to go check Phil's mail for him at the expense of banning Phil from the facility for the next week. Phil was at the facility checking his mail for a copy of his birth certificate, which was express mailed to him last week but had not arrived at the center. The homeless man needed it in order to accept an apartment from the City of Denver's homeless rehousing program. The pair explained that the deadline for Phil to accept his apartment was on Wednesday, and he needed to have his birth certificate readily available to show to the city, or else the city would pass him over for housing. After completing her rant against the horribly run St. Francis Center, Benson drove Phil to get a new food access card from Denver's Department of Health and Human Services. Phil said he lost his card some time ago, and Benson was unsure if the city would provide him with a new card. While Benson was inside with Phil, her signal cut out, and when it returned, Benson explained that she had a missed call from her youngest son. While she had not yet returned the call, she indicated that it probably meant his wife had delivered her latest baby, who had been several days overdue for delivery. Benson ended the live stream on that happy note, indicating that she would return to the St. Francis Center on Wednesday in order to again help Phil after possibly visiting her new grandson. Flashback to May 29, 2023. De Castro to eliminate police. Jose Chile de Castro continued his recent verbal attacks on police Sunday night in a now deleted live stream. De Castro shared violent fantasies about attacking the police officers involved in his recent arrest in Las Vegas, indicating that he had no fear of the men and now proclaiming all law enforcement has to be deleted. De Castro began his live stream by looking at a series of arrest videos in which he claimed that officers tortured or abused those individuals they were taking into custody. This led to De Castro stating that he wanted to force a California policewoman into a cage fight like a man and have a canine officer who was involved in an incident that De Castro was watching be mauled by dogs. The YouTuber's violent fantasies continued as he stated that he was not afraid of the officers who recently arrested him in Las Vegas and would attack them individually if he could find them in a situation outside of the, quote, rule of law, unquote. In perhaps a new career move, De Castro openly stated that he was obsessed with the idea of opening a fight club where police officers would face members of the public to settle disputes for his entertainment. He then declared that when he obtained the governorship, he would defund and outlaw the police department and replace it with a department of rights protectors. Playing portions of a recent traffic stop that he was involved with, De Castro criticized police for touching him after he ignored their warnings to stay inside his car. He claimed that officers should have known he was unarmed, even though he states he openly carries his firearm at all times and is well known by Las Vegas Metro police officers. Even more disturbing, De Castro again shared his fantasies of a coming civil war, toying with the idea of leaving during the actual fighting in order to return as an authority figure after the war. It is unclear if De Castro believes that the Civil War will come before or after his attempt to run for governor, but he assured his fandom that he would be ready to lead in either case. Well, folks, it's been another one here in northern central Pennsylvania. Hey, I'm not on screen. Let's remove this and let's go back here. I've got no closing closing statements tonight. Again, it's been one hell of a day. Tomorrow, again, there is no Karen Reed murder trial coverage. There is, however, this newscast at 6 p.m. at our normal time, Eastern time. And then we'll have our normal Thursday night panel discussion at 8 p.m. Eastern, right after that. Again, apologies for the rush today. It's been a hell of a day here, but at least my audio is now a bit better on these recorded segments. And yes, the usual pants disclaimer. This has been a production. This production has been a mix of live and pre-produced segments. so that doesn't get us in trouble with YouTube today. Yes, I'm frustrated. Yes, it's been a long day, but things will get better tomorrow. That's all I got to say for now, and I'll see you on the flip side.